Welcome for the today's session of organization development. Today we will be continuing with the remaining portion of the course policy of the organization development. As we discussed in our previous class about the some of the practices of the OD model, so today we will be discussing about the systems and system theories of the organization development. Dear students, as we say that the organization development is always done with the help of some of the models, some of the theories, and some of the practices apart from the theoretical knowledge. So today we are going to discuss some of the systems and system theories which are very significant and useful for the purpose of developing an organization. So once we say that a system is an organized collection of parts or subsystems that are highly integrated to accomplish an overall goal. Basically, each and every organization has set some specific goal of the organization or the object of the organization, or if you talk about the vision and mission of the organization, these mission, vision or goal of the organization could be accomplished or established with the help of some system. So system are highly used for the purpose of developing an organization within a specific geographical environment. So once we talk about the system has a various inputs which go through certain process to produce certain outputs, which together accomplish the overall desired goal for the system. Dear students, once we say the system under the organization developments, system in the sense means that we are gonna to give some inputs, and that system will be processing that inputs, and then later on it will be giving us some of the outputs respectively. So system could be some of the techniques, some of the machineries, some of the hardware, and the system could refers to the managerial aspects of the organization. Once they are going to work on some of the things, that the works must be processed, and after the process it would give the output. So this output could be the things where the organization is moving beyond that. Or if you talk about the management aspects of the organization, basically the management will be working in some of the tasks, in some of the assignments, or some of the works in a day-to-day work, and then later on it would be processed, and then through the process it would be giving us some of the outputs. So apart from the managerial aspects of the organization, within the organization there are the system requirement. Once we say that the system, it means that from A to Z everything should be filterized, everything should be processed, and finally it would be providing an output. The output is something which helps to accomplish the goal of the organization. Similarly, a system is actually made up of many smaller system or subsystem. If you talk about the system could be overall a main system. The system needs some other subsystems for the purpose of accomplishing the goal of the organization. As a single system may not be useful for the organization to accomplish the goal of the organization. There is the need or the requirement of subsystems for the development of the organizations. So the subsystems will be coming together, and it will be giving an output. Or a system is always the output of the interrelated subsystem. So one subsystem is going to be connected with each other, it will be producing a system. That system will be processing input as per the direction of the organization, and it will be processed, and then the organization will be getting output from that particular system, which help the organization to accomplish the goal of the organization. So once we talk about the systems, then we can say that within the organization the system is of different types. if you talk particularly, there are some of the open system and closed systems. Open system in the sense means that the each and every person within the organization, each and every person within a specific department, or highly authorized to do some things. Or we can say that if you talk about the managerial management of the organization, or if you talk from the management perspective, open system is something which is decentralized, and closed system is something which is centralized. The hierarchy of the work is related to one person under the closed system, and open system is something where the hierarchy of the work is depends on each and every position or each and every aspects of the management. So within the organization, some of the organization has open system and some of the organization has closed system. It's mean that the development of the organization is depends on the open system as well as the closed system. It depends on the nature, it depends on the environment, based on the situations, based on the political and economical situation of the country. The organization can select either to go behind the open system or closed system. So overall, the open system and closed systems are the systems which helps the organization to develop itself. And the another aspects of this system is that high functioning systems. High functioning systems in the term of technology, high functioning system in the term of management, high functioning systems overall of the organizations. It means that they are advanced in natures. They are they are working in a such a way where it is of data natures. There is enhancement of the technology in that systems, the usage of the recent changes toward the technology has also been used under this system. So these systems can help the organization to develop. So as we discussed that the system, once we say that the system, under the system, so is made of the many other smaller systems which help the organization to develop. And then once we say that a systems always has various inputs, and that would be processed, and finally it would give us the output, which is always used for the purpose of accomplishing the goal, object or mission or vision of the organization. The second portion under the system is that the system can be said to consist of four things. Each and every systems within each and every organization has four particular things. So let's discuss one by one. The first thing is that each and every system has object. In our day-to-day life, each and every task has an object. If there is no objects, it means that there is no development at all of that things. So within the organization, once we talk about the system must be having an object. So object is the parts, the elements or the various variable within the systems. Once we say that objects of the systems, objects means that the parts, the elements or the variables or the the vectors or the anniversary yak system رابنا میچی مساوی میکنیم بنام object مساوی میکنیم. یعنی یک سیستم باید در بخش اول object داشته باشه، parts و elements داشته باشه. So these may be physical or abstract or both depending on the nature of the system. Once we say that the parts of the systems or the elements of the system as in objects, for the first things considerable under the system could be some physical or tangible things, or abstract or both of them, for the purpose of running that system. The second things under the system is that the system consists of attributes. Attributes in the sense means that the qualities or the properties of the systems and its objects. The second thing is that a system must be having some qualities and some properties and some particulars in order to to move or to run behind the objects. Once the object is set, once the elements or the parts of the systems are available either in the term of physical or abstract, then there should be qualities or properties or the particulars about some things in order to run that system within the organization. The third things which the system is consisted is that system has internal relation among its an object. Within each and every organization there is proper relation among the employees, among the sections, among the divisions, among the departments, either top level, low level, or middle level. So the third things that the system define is that internal relationships. Internal relationship is also helping for the purpose of developing an organizations. And the last things that a system is consisted is that environment. It exists in environment. A system, then it is a set of the things that affects one another within an environment, and they form a large pattern or pattern that is different from any of the parts. The environment or the situations, the environment encompasses the overall systems. Either it could be inner environment or either it could be outer environment. So particularly this system refers to the inner environment of the organization. Which type of environment do we have within the organization? So obviously the environments would be affecting the development level of the organization. So basically, once we talk about the systems within each and every organization must be having four things. The first thing is objects. Objects mean that the parts and elements and variables of the system. The second thing is that attributes. Attributes in the sense means that the qualities, the properties, and the particulars of the system which help the objects, or which are moving behind the objects. And the third thing is that the inner relationship between the the systems, the internal relationship among the objects, that should be there within the systems once we talk about the development of the organization. And the last thing is that the environment must be in a such a way where there is proper system within that the organizations, particularly the inner environment between the departments, between the the sections or divisions, must be in a such a way where there is the development of the organizations. Or in another word, we could say that a system which is useful for the development of the organization must be consisted of four things. The first thing is that the system must be having object. The second thing is that the system must be having the attributes, and the third thing is the system must be having internal relationships, and the fourth thing is that the system must be having a proper internal as well as external environment. So overall these things help the organization to develop. If you look here about the this diagram here, it shows that some things about the I, T, O, and A. So O is the these things, or see how they are gonna to be interconnected with each others. So here the A stands for the environment, either if you talk about the internal environment or external environment, and then the O stands for the output, and then the T stands for the transformations, in which a way they are going to transfer either the information or either the data or either the systems, how they are going to transfer it. And then the I stands for the input. Assume that here we are going to have some input. That input should be transferred or processed, and finally we will be getting some output. So this as per the goal of the organizations. Whatever the goal of the organization is, based on that they will be having input, and then you transform it or process it, and then finally it would be output. The output would goes to the outer environment again. So here as we do have under the organization development policies and strategies, so the inner environment as well as the outer environment is considerable, because whatever we are going to do it, either if you are having service or either if you are having good based business, so all the things are related to the environments. And finally we would be having feedback. If the feedback of the the systems of the organization is positive, it means that the organization is developing within a certain geographical environment. If the feedback is negative, it means that there is no development of that particular organization. So as much as high we do have the systems within the organization, that much high the development of that organization would be. And next here, if you focus here, this is also one of the systems as in a example put in the diagram or chart. If you focus here, this is the the subsystems within the organization. This could be the main systems, these are the subsystems. If you focus here, these also are subsystems. The subsystems comes together and they will be producing a systems, and the systems will be helping the organization to develop. So here, if from the system perspective, in order to develop an organization, or in order to look the image of the organizations from the system perspectives, it says that beliefs communications occurs among the interdependent units that work together and adapt on to an ever changing environment. Obviously, dear students, when there is a proper communications or interrelationship between the employees, or between the systems, or between the management of an organization, that organization would be improving or developing very well, systematically and effectively. And if you talk about these portions here, the strengths, the openness and the flexibility, board based, then again here allows the situation specific generalizations. So these all things based on the environment. This is actually a systems which demonstrate that how a system can work within the organization to develop the organization. So there would be some of the strength point of the systems, and there are some the weaknesses point of the systems. As much the weaknesses point of the system is there, that much the organization may not be going to develop very well, and as much as the strength point of the the system is there, so that organization would be developing systematically. So this chart shows us that how the subsystems are collectively and interrelatively be together, that much the system of the organization would be strong, and the organization can develop systematically. So for this purpose, the explanation of this chart is there in the chapters. So I would be requesting honestly the students to just read it out, the different explanation of this chart, or this systems, or this model. This is actually in a model of an organization by the name of XYZ, that how it helps the organization to develop itself. So please go through that chapters and read the explanation part of that diagram, and get the meaning and understand it, and just read the theory parts of that one. If any problem was there, we will be going for the discussing that parts. Thank you so much. I would be closing the class here, and we will be continuing with the next portion of the course policy for our next class. Thanks a lot from your kind attention.